In this video, we're going to talk about donkeys. For thousands of years, they've been right by our side, helping us carry our burdens across deserts and mountains. We kind of see them as symbols of humility and hard work. But what if I told you there's a whole hidden side to these incredible animals? Yeah, we all have this picture in our heads, right? The quiet, maybe a little stubborn beast of burden. But that image, it barely even scratches the surface. So get ready, because from their complex social lives to their unique biology, donkeys are absolutely full of surprises. So is that really all they are, just a variation of a horse with some extra large ears? Or are they something else entirely? Let's get into the details and find out what truly sets these guys apart. Okay, let's dive right in, starting with the absolute basics. Before we can get into all the cool behaviors and their place in the world, we've got to know exactly what a donkey is. So scientifically speaking, they're known as Equus africanus asinus. That just means they're a domesticated mammal from the Equidae family. Yep, the same family as horses and zebras. Their family tree goes all the way back to the African wild ass, a creature that was perfectly built for the tough, dry lands of Northeast Africa. Now this is where things get really interesting, especially when you compare them to horses. First off, donkeys can live for a surprisingly long time. We're talking 30, even up to 50 years with good care. And a huge reason for that is their incredibly efficient digestive system. It's a gift from their desert-dwelling ancestors, and it means they can thrive on 50 to 75% less food than a horse of the same size. Wild, right? When it comes to making more donkeys, well, patience is definitely a virtue. A female donkey, which is called a jenny, is pregnant for about 12 months. That's a full year, which is quite a bit longer than a lot of other farm animals. And after that really long wait, a jenny almost always has just one single baby, or foal. Twins are super rare, which makes every single birth a pretty special event for the group. Alright, so we've covered the biology, but what about their social lives? How do they interact? Let's dive into their world, which, trust me, is just as fascinating as their digestive system. This quote from a study pretty much changes everything we think we know. Unlike horses, who have a really clear pecking order, a donkey's social structure is non-linear. So what does that mean? Well, think of it this way. There's no single permanent boss. Who's in charge can actually change depending on the situation. So instead of forming big, permanent herds, donkeys are all about quality over quantity. They tend to form really strong bonds with just one or two best friends. And when it's mating season, it's not about a male controlling a big group of females. Instead, a male donkey, or a jack, will find a great piece of territory and defend it, and then he'll mate with the females that wander through. And what are they eating? Well, their diet totally reflects their desert origins. They need food that's high in fiber, but really low in sugar. In fact, because their bodies are so good at pulling out every last nutrient, rich, sugary grass can actually make them sick. That's why something simple like barley straw is often the perfect meal for them. When it comes to relationships, donkeys form these incredibly deep, loyal bonds. They can even have a calming effect on anxious horses. But don't let that gentle side fool you. They are fiercely protective. They're so brave and territorial that they make amazing guard animals for livestock like sheep and goats against predators like coyotes. Okay, so we've gotten to know them up close and personal. Now, let's zoom all the way out and take a look at the bigger picture. Just how many donkeys are there in the world, and where do they all live? The global population is estimated to be over 40 million. That is a huge number, and it just goes to show how vital these animals are to communities all over the planet. And this chart breaks it down perfectly. The vast majority, we're talking over 95%, live in developing countries. You can see right here that Asia and Africa are the real hotspots, where donkeys are absolutely essential for transportation, for farming, for everyday life. But here's the thing, and this is really important. Even with that massive global number, the donkey population is facing a crisis. A huge demand for their hides is causing their numbers to plummet at an alarming rate in many parts of the world. Okay, to wrap things up, let's lighten the mood a bit with some just genuinely cool facts that really show off how unique these animals are. First up, that classic hee-haw. It's not just a funny sound, okay? It is a seriously powerful communication tool. In the wide open spaces they come from, that bray can travel for over 3 kilometers, helping them stay in touch with their friends. You've probably seen that cross shape on a lot of donkeys' backs, right? It's a dark stripe down their spine and another one across their shoulders. Well, that's not a brand or anything. It's a completely natural marking called a dorsal stripe that they inherited from their wild ancestors. Here's another key way they're different from horses. While wild horses live in these big, stable family groups, wild donkeys? They're much more independent, often preferring to be on their own. This really explains why their social lives are so different. We touched on this, but it's so cool it's worth repeating. That whole reputation for being stubborn, it's really just a strong sense of self-preservation and incredible bravery. They won't let themselves be scared into a dangerous situation, and they will absolutely stand their ground to protect their pals. And finally, let's talk about those famous ears. They give them fantastic hearing, for sure, but they also double as a personal air conditioning system. Seriously, the huge surface area is packed with blood vessels, which lets them radiate body heat out into the air to stay cool. How smart is that? So, when you put it all together, from their complex friendships to their super efficient bodies and surprising bravery, it's pretty clear, isn't it? Donkeys are so much more than what they seem. They're intelligent, adaptable, and just deeply fascinating animals. Alright, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.